How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are looking at Workhorse today because it's been making a massive move, and I actually bought some today, and I think now is really a good time to buy into Workhorse. There's a lot of opportunity, and there was a big announcement today that has caused the stock to go up over 10%. So I'm going to cover that. I'm going to talk about where we are kind of in the contract phase. So they are working towards a contract for USPS, and I'm going to talk about what we have to look forward to going forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. Before we get into it, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it really helps out the channel a lot. And if you have watched this before, if you've watched the channel before, I would really appreciate you subscribing. We're trying to grow the channel, and I'm getting pretty close to my next birthday, and hopefully we'll be at 5,000 by the end of this month. That is kind of the goal set out for me. I mean it's kind of arbitrary, but that would be an awesome thing to hit. Also, if you want, there are links down there to WeBull and to M1 Finance. If you sign up with WeBull and deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks, one worth up to $1,400. And if you do that, and you just get the normal stocks, the least expensive stocks you can, you could still sell it and buy a share of Workhorse. So that's just something to consider. So I bought $100 worth of Workhorse today, and I realize that's not a ton of money. For some people it is, for some people it's not. But Workhorse is up about 14% on the day here, and there was some pretty big news with Workhorse this morning. The EV maker Lordstown Motors is being bought by another SPAC called DiamondPeak. So why is this important for Workhorse? Well, the transaction raised about $675 million for Lordstown and values it at about $1.6 billion. Now, Workhorse owns 10% of this company, so it means that their position in this company is about $160 million. Workhorse is only worth about $1.6 billion as of now, or as of this morning. Well, now they have been able to increase their value by about 10% just today. Now, that's massive. It's worth, I think, more than the 10% because they are a growing company. So is Lordstown. So right now, what they really need is cash infusion into both these companies. And since they're symbiotic in nature, the one getting a lot of money or DiamondPeak being able to kind of fund Lordstown will be huge for Workhorse. So they're kind of working off each other, right? So whether Workhorse gets money and cashes out or whether Workhorse is able to grow with Lordstown is going to be huge. Going back to Lordstown, it says here that the $675 million of expected gross profits will be used for the development and commercialization of Lordstown's all-electric pickup called Lordstown Endurance. Now, they've already received 27,000 pre-orders, which equates to more than $1.4 billion in potential revenue. Of course, a lot of these pre-orders don't actually become real orders or actually go through the process, but that's still a lot of potential revenue for them right now. They're being valued at $1.6 billion. If they're able to actually sell $1.4 billion in potential revenue, that's going to go up massively. I mean, you don't really see a 1-to-1 sales to price ratio in the EV space. Now, their main car that they're looking at is, again, the Lordstown Endurance. That would be able to secure about $1.4 billion in revenue. And a lot of people haven't even heard of it, right? So I hadn't really heard of it before just a few weeks ago. A lot of people, I think, in the U.S. I don't know about it. I mean, there isn't a really good electric pickup on the market, right? Tesla is working towards their Cybertruck, which is going to be polarizing. There's also the Nikola truck, which isn't really even in production yet, as far as we know. So if they're able to get this to market quickly, I think that they're going to be able to actually sell more than the pre-order sales here, and they'll be able to get a lot of revenue. Now, again, they need to be able to scale up, which is going to be the difficult part. They need to be able to make as many vehicles really as possible if they're able to get this to the market quickly. But that's just going to be huge for them going forward. Now, again, that's not even the major thing going for Workhorse, right? So what a lot of the Workhorse investors are looking for is that massive USPS contract, which I'll link to here, a video that I talked about just recently, going through kind of what the big goal is for Workhorse, what they're working towards, why they are kind of a very high potential stock, right? So in short, they have the opportunity for over a $6 billion opportunity with USPS. and they're trying to secure a contract. Even just for a small part of that would be huge for the company. Again, they're valued at $1.6 billion. So if they're able to secure a contract that's worth even just a few billion, that's going to be huge for this company. And they already have their vehicles out there, right? They aren't like Nikola, who's just trying to make a car or make a vehicle. What they're trying to do is just secure this large contract for something that they already have the intellectual property for and something that they're already producing. So again, if you don't know, there are 4 different companies that are trying to vie for position in this USPS contract. There's the Turkey-based Carson, but what they're offering is a plug-in hybrid engine option for the new mail truck. They are partnering with our USPS supplier, Morgan Olson in Sturgis, Michigan. So they aren't really offering a pure play. They're offering a hybrid, so it's not an all-electric vehicle. The other option is Mahindra Automotive North America. They're offering a gasoline or mild hybrid powertrain option. So again, not an electric pure play. Now there's Workhorse, which is an electric vehicle builder out of Ohio. There's also this last company, which is out of Wisconsin, and they're teaming up with Ford, and they're working on an ICE vehicle, so an internal combustion engine. Out of these 4 companies, this one is based out of Turkey, teaming up with a company out of Michigan, but they're providing a hybrid. This company is also providing a hybrid. This company isn't even offering a hybrid, it's just an ICE vehicle. And this one is a pure play out of the heartland of the US, right? So it's out of Ohio. I think that this is really the way that they're going to go. I think that there are some political reasons that they would want to pick this company. So Trump really needs Ohio to win the next election. Trump has really railed on USPS. He has some control over what happens with this contract, I'm sure. Even if it's not direct control, he can kind of push some people to push towards Workhorse Group. So I think that is a good sign going forward that they are going to be able to secure the contract also. And they also are the only electric car vehicle, right? So we're moving that way. The last USPS vehicles have been around for 28 years, right? So they don't buy these every year or every couple years. They have these large contracts, they buy a lot of them, then they hold off. So if they are able to buy electric vehicles for the next 25, 30 years, I think that they're going to go with these. Now, I did a price comparison on my last video talking about how price efficient these Workhorse vehicles are, especially over a long period of time. But essentially, you can save over $100,000 just in 20 years based on how inexpensive it is to fuel these. So they're a little bit more expensive on the front end, but then you save a lot of money on the back end, which is huge, I think, for the long term. And being able to buy $6 billion worth of these will save you a ton of money over the long term. It would be billions of dollars saved over the long term. So I think that we will hopefully get some good news on Workhorse, on them being able to secure this contract. But if nothing else today, they were able to kind of get evaluated and really add that value to their company. Of course, we didn't know exactly what Lordstown would be worth before, but the fact that they're valued at $1.6 billion offers a lot of value towards Workhorse, being that they own 10% of the company. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was clear. I hope it was concise. A little bit shorter video than normal, but I hope you liked it. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this. Are you bullish on Workhorse? Again, I bought $100 worth today. I think that this kind of pushed them in the right direction, and it's now a risk that I'm willing to take. Before, I had talked about how I wanted to buy this, but it was just a little bit risky for me. But the fact that they were able to add this massive move in their investments, I think that's awesome for the company. I think that's going to be really important. And they are just kind of a really high profile, a very high potential stock that I am excited to be owning now. So thank you guys so much again. If you want to use those links below and get some free stocks, you can sell them and then get Workhorse. Just make sure you deposit $100 in WeBull. Otherwise, if you want to start up an account with M1 Finance, you can do that too. If you want to join our Patreon, you can get access to our Discord server where we talk about different investments, and you would have gotten this real time that I'm buying Workhorse that I think is pretty helpful for people, and we're able to bounce ideas off each other, which I think is awesome too. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.